Gigi Berardi reading FoodWISE, continuing in our personal world of food, but looking at science and scientific studies. The researchers found that out of 111 academic articles that declared their financial sponsorship, almost none of those funded by industry showed unfavorable results for their industry's product. This bias is precisely what we must be on the lookout for as we review a study's findings and fundings. One flagrant type of bias is what's known as cherry picking. Cherry picking is the purposeful selection of certain data that support a hypothesis or key research question, while ignoring the data that do not. Maybe researchers start crossing out the information gathered in a survey because it just doesn't fit the results they wanted, justifying that practice because in retrospect, those individuals were thought to be too old or too young or the wrong shape or gender for the experiment. Or maybe they don't justify it at all, assuming no one will ever know. Until someone else attempts to repeat the study, it's difficult for a layperson or even another scientist to spot tainted results. Okay, we're talking about diet here, and not surprisingly, so many of the studies in and on diet are going to be on cholesterol and fat in the diet. And I'm already developing the argument that we need to look carefully at these studies that are condemning fat and cholesterol in the diet and look at where they're coming from and who they were funded by. If not, what was the context? Societal attitudes and behaviors at the time, stemming from even the last century. So right now, today, what many and most are concerned about is the science around COVID. So here I present an article from the New York Times about heart, long-term and puzzling effects of COVID on the heart in particular, cardiovascular system in general. And I include at least one of the original articles that the New York Times reporter used in writing the piece. And that is certainly what we would have to do to look at the piece more carefully, and certainly along the lines that I've been outlining in the book. This is also the beginning of research on this particular topic, COVID, and so we're all monitoring it very carefully.